This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. It is Sunday afternoon, April 16th, 2023. We're located at 5146 West 130th Street in Hawthorne, California, performing a video sewer inspection. The realtor is Susanna Montez, and the buyers are Michael and Marianne. We're going to begin performing a video sewer inspection through the 4-inch ABS plastic mainline sewer cleanout that is located on the left-hand side of the house as you're facing the house from the street, and it is next to the water heater cabinet. Just going to clean our camera lens off a little tiny bit. Get a good clean picture. And this is going toward the street, going toward that fence at the street. And this is going back toward the backyard. Water heater cabinet is right in front of us. And the 4-inch ABS plastic mainline sewer cleanout is right next to the water heater cabinet. So we're going to zero out our camera monitor right here at the opening so we get a good accurate reading. We're going to begin pushing our camera through. Then we've got a little bit of water. Got some water in the line right here. We're still full of water right here. So we're just going to push out, try and see what we end up with here. Looks like we got some debris in front of us. Looks like we cleared the water. We're going to go ahead and we're going to run some water real quick. There's some debris right there. We may have a flat spot as we're going into the mainline sewer cleanout. So we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to go run some water. Okay, we have water running through the line right now. Let's pull back just a little tiny bit. Try and see if we have water standing still. I think we had some debris in the line. Going back in, don't really see any standing water. We're going to go ahead and shut our water down and let it dissipate, and then we're going to begin running out. So we're going to pause again for a moment. Okay, we flushed the line out. Now we're back into the ABS plastic, and we're transitioning right as we enter the clean out. And there is an ABS plastic to vitreous clay transition. A little minor offset right there, not terrible. In a little bit further, at approximately 7'3", we do have a large crack going all the way around the pipe, starting from about the 6 o'clock area, and I can't tell where it goes to because we can't see the top. It may even start over by the 3 o'clock area. It looks like it may run all the way around, but difficult to tell. Yeah, it does look like it runs all the way around. So that's just on the other side of the water heater cabinet going toward the front yard. We have another crack as we go in here, another joint, and then we have a large crack in the face of the pipe, starting, it looks like, at about the 5 o'clock area and running up toward, looks like running all the way around. I could see it at about the 7 o'clock area. It looks like it runs all the way around. There's a second crack. That's just past that water heater cabinet. We have another crack running, appears to be all the way around. This is at about 15 feet out. Looks like we got cracks all over the place so far. We'll see what it looks like. Got another crack here. Got a crack at approximately 18 feet, which is on the side of the house. Just right along the left-hand side of the house as you're facing the house from the street. Continue to run in. Next joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition right here. Continue to run in. We have another crack. The next joint That one appears to run all the way around, just inside the face of the hub. Next joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Then, right in the middle of the pipe, we don't have a hub here. There's a crack all the way around the pipe right here. That's not a joint. We're at 32.4. We're at 33. Coming up to the next joint. So that was a crack right in the middle of the pipe. Another crack and a break right here. There's a piece that's actually broken from about the 5:30, 6 o'clock area to about the 8:30 area on the camera monitor. You can see that piece is cracked right there and broken. So there's not much stability there, and then you go in a little bit more and we have a joint. That's not even a joint. That looks like a crack all the way around the pipe. I thought that may have been the joint, but we're going to go ahead and check this. It's difficult to see, there's so many cracks. So we're going to go from right here. We're going to run in. We're at 31.6. That's the crack all the way around. Now there's the hub. 35 feet. There's another crack. Face of the pipe that goes around. There's numerous cracks in this vitreous clay sewer line. There's another crack as we go in. You see the crack up on the left. Pretty large crack and pretty good sized break. It's splitting different ways. It's splitting back toward the fitting, and that's a turn. So it's splitting in several different areas. And not much stability in that fitting. Making a turn. Another crack. You can see on the right hand side, it's kind of hard to see because we're in the turn right there. Appears to be a crack. And we have some concrete slag overpour there. Try and jump that a little bit. Continue to run out. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Then we have a crack here all the way around. Pretty good sized crack there. A little offset here. Looks like this may be the 4 to 6 inch transition at 50 feet. We'll check that after. We're going to locate it. Making a turn. Kind of hard to see because of the position of the camera, but there may be a crack in front of us. It looks like in the piping or fitting right here appears to be another crack. Now we're going downhill, and appears we have another crack right in front of us. You can see that at about the 12 o'clock area going down to about the 7 o'clock area. A lot of cracks in this vitreous clay line. Looks like it's got quite a bit of fall, going downhill quite a bit. We have another crack here in the vitreous clay. We're at 58 feet. That joint appears to be offset just a little bit possibly, but not terrible. That joint looked to be in probably fair and maintainable condition. Pull back to the last joint, which is right there at approximately 66 feet. That's not a joint, that's a crack all the way around. Next joint, we have a crack all the way around again. We have some root intrusion coming through. We have a couple cracks. Looks like possibly the test tee. That's probably the test tee for the property, and then we should be heading out to the 4 to 6 inch connection. So the one back there was just an offset. This appears to be the 4 to 6 inch connection right here, and we'll check this at 70 feet. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. This is the lateral in the street. That joint has a little bit of overpour concrete slag, but still appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Next joint appears to have some root intrusion and a little bit of an offset here, but still maintainable. Next joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. A little bit of concrete overpour. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition as well. That joint appears to have a little tiny bit of root intrusion. That's right before the saddle. We're making a turn. That's the saddle. And then this is the city sewer. Looks like there may be there's some markings in it, but I don't think that that's a crack. It could be a very, very minor crack, if anything, but still appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Could be just a crack because of the casting. And the city sewer is at approximately 90 feet 7 inches on the camera monitor. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to begin pulling back now, and then we're going to locate the 4 to 6 inch transition and locate some of the cracks. There's numerous cracks. From the 4 inch to 6 inch transition, there's a lot of cracks. So we're going to begin pulling back. It appears that the lateral, which in essence is the most expensive and costly part of the sewer, which is in the street, and the homeowner owns that as well. We're just going to pull back. That lateral appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Got some roots in there. Can go ahead and probably just use some Root X, ROOTX, flush it down the toilet. Put a couple treatments down there in a year's time, and then maybe even flush some Root X down there once a year to maintain it. But it should be fine. Doesn't appear to be in any terribly drastic condition that needs any kind of immediate attention or work. Pulling back up, and this is our 4 to 6 inch transition right at 70 feet. That's our test tee. We're going to go ahead and we're going to locate this area. The sewer line, in my opinion, needs to be replaced from here back. There's just way too many cracks and breaks in this sewer line. So we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we're going to locate these breaks. Okay, we marked this area with a flag right by the sidewalk. The transition is 3 foot 9 inches deep, and the cracks are right back behind it. We have 2 large cracks right there within inches. We're going to continue to pull back. Then there's a large crack all the way around the pipe with roots growing in, with root intrusion. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to locate and mark this area. Pause again for a moment. Okay, we marked this area in the grass on the left-hand side of the yard at 3 foot 7 inches deep. Another large crack all the way around the pipe. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Large crack all the way around the pipe. Right there. Pause and locate this area. Okay, we marked this area on the grass on the left hand side of the yard at 3 foot 2 inches deep. It's a large crack. We're going to continue to pull back now. And there's an extremely large crack here and root intrusion all the way around the pipe. It's just inside the hub. And there's an offset there as well. It's shifted and it cracked. So we're going to locate this area, mark this area. We'll pause again for a moment. Okay, we located this area on the left hand side of the grass where the other flags are at 3 foot 2 inches deep. And we're going to continue to pull back. Making a slight turn in here. Can't really see a lot. It appears there's a crack right there on the top of the screen. Very hard to see because we're in the turn. But it appears that there's a crack there at about the 12:30, 1 o'clock area. We're not going to mark that one. And fairly large offset here, separation, but there's also a large crack. Appears there's a large crack right here on the left hand side, but I believe there's another one right back behind us. Yeah, there's a joint here, and then we go in and we have another large crack right there in front of us. So we're going to pause and we're going to locate this area. Okay, we located this area at 2 foot 8 inches deep in the grass area on the left hand side of the house as you're facing the house from the street. We marked it 3 foot 2 inches deep with an orange flag. We'll continue pulling back. A little bit of overpour on the concrete slag right there. Joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition from what we can see. I believe there's a joint there. Don't see any issues right there. We do have a major break right here, a major crack and a major break. And it's split going back toward the fitting and going all the way around. Pretty bad break right there. So we're going to pause and we're going to locate this area. Okay, we located this area in the front yard on the left hand side of the yard at 2 foot 10 inches deep. And this is right near the wood fencing on the left hand side of the yard that is adjacent to the walkway going to the backyard. That's 2 foot 10 inches deep, very large crack and break. Continue pulling back. We have another large crack right here inside the hub. It says roots growing through. Looks like it might be offset and separated a little bit. We're going to pause and we're going to locate this area. Okay, we located this.
Jamie Nava or
Jamie pause for one moment. Okay, we located this area at 3 foot deep, just outside the fence on the left-hand side of the yard, and we marked it with a pink dot of paint. And we do have a large crack and break right there. I'm going to continue to pull back. Now should be on the inside of the fence. We have numerous cracks there as well. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition, but we have a very large crack right behind it. And that's a break all the way around and cracked. So we're going to pause there and locate that area. Okay, we've located this area. We're going to go ahead and locate this area, excuse me. We're going to pause and locate this area. Got sidetracked a little bit. I'm going to pause right now. Okay, we located this area at 2 foot 9 inches deep inside the fence on the left-hand side of the house on the concrete walkway, same side as the water heater's on. And we marked that with a pink dot of paint. We're going to continue to pull back. That was 2 feet 9 inches deep. And we have another crack here. We're going to pause. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we located this area on the inside of the fence on the left-hand side of the house and marked it with an orange dot of paint at 2 foot 7 inches deep. Continue to pull back. We have another large crack right in front of us. We're going to go ahead and locate this area. Excuse me. We located this area as well at 2 foot 6 inches deep. Mark this area with a pink dot of paint. I'm going to continue to pull back. Going back to the joint. And there's the hub, and we also have another large crack right there. I'm going to pause and mark this area. Okay, we located this area and marked it with a pink dot of paint at 2 foot 4 inches deep on the left-hand side of the house along the walkway leading up to the water heater and the mainline sewer clean out. Continue pulling back. There are just numerous cracks and breaks in the sewer line. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. Major crack and break right here, just inside the hub. We're going to pause and locate that area. Okay, we located and marked this area. This area is at 2 foot 1 inches deep. We marked it with a dot of orange or pink paint, excuse me. I'm going to continue pulling back. And we have a crack in this area. We're going to pause and locate this area as well. Okay, we located this area and marked this area. It's 2 feet deep. And it is on the concrete. We marked it with a pink dot of paint. It is about maybe 7 feet away from the water heater. I'm going to continue to pull back. That joint appears to have some little spider cracks. Nothing too major, but they're beginning to crack. And there's a pretty large crack right in front of us. I'm going to pause right here and locate this area. Okay, we located this area at 1 foot 8 inches deep. And it is right at the left front corner of the water heater cabinet. We marked it with a pink dot of paint. We're just going to continue to pull back. Now we should transition right here to ABS plastic. And we do, and we're coming back to the clean out, coming up and out of our mainline sewer clean out. Now we'll conclude our video sewer inspection.